or you want to try out a horror movie, watch this. Because it's the perfect combination of scary and not too scary. Like, if you want to start off with a horror movie, like, if you're going to start off with your first horror movie, you're not going to want to start off with something the Ring or something. You're not going to want to do that. So it's good if you start off with this movie, considering it's absolutely amazing and everyone loves it. 10 out of 10 IGN. So I really don't know how to explain it without giving off too many spoilers. If you haven't seen the trailer, that basically explains as much as I can explain without giving any spoilers out. So, if you want, you can go watch that trailer and trust my word that it's good. But from here on out, I'm going to be saying spoilers. So if you don't want to hear anything, then leave now. But at least I gave you my impression on it. But now I'll tell you why I think it's the best horror movie you've ever seen. So it's such an original concept. Like, you look at slasher movies, although some of them are good, they're not always the most original. They're always not the most original in the world. Of course, I mean, like, it will have different killers at some points, but for the most part, it's the same storyline. That's the only problem I ever have had with slasher movies. Other than that, slasher movies are one of my favorite things in the world. All horror movies are my favorite thing in the world. But so let's just continue talking about like why it's so original. Cause you're like, Tiger, what?
Really strong.
Now, this is the most original topic in the world because it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. If you watch the trailer, like I said, it's a little bit easier to explain it. But the whole premise of the movie is that there's these three robbers, and they go to rob this one guy's house so they can move to California and live a life there. Because this guy has a lot of money. He's a blind war vet. And that sets off something already, that he's a war vet. Which is, you don't want to mess with a war vet. But for some reason these guys decided to mess with a war vet because he's blind, I guess. But this it's just the fact that he's already blind and some of his senses are higher, because if you guys didn't know, what everyone says is, well, it's the fact, it's truth. Basically, whenever you lose one sense, the rest of your senses grow intensely. And, like, they go real high, like, way better. And that's the cool thing. I mean, it's the kind of the creepy and cool thing about losing the sense. But that means he can smell and hear these people better. So when they break into his house, he can shoot people. He can shoot because he can sense and hear everything so vividly. And so he shoots one of the first people when they break in, after a while. So he shoots him, and he dies, obviously. Now, there was two there was two people, sorry, there was three people altogether, and one person said, like, he said he was gonna leave because one of the two male characters left. Well, one of the male characters left because he had a he didn't want to do the robbery anymore, so he left and took his shoes. Long story short, he couldn't smell him because the shoes, because he couldn't smell the shoes because he was wearing them. You fast forward a couple times, classic story, everyone's dead except for the survivor girl, and everything kind of goes happily ever after. And that's all I can say, because I don't want to spoil too much of the cool parts about the movie. If you did watch through this, there is some cooler parts that even if you haven't watched the movie and you still want to see it after me talking about it, I don't want to spoil those parts for you, just to leave a little interest. I don't want to spoil every single little jump scare and everything like that. But overall, I gave this movie like a 9 out of 10, and the reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because there was two mistakes that I noticed, and I don't really want to explain them once again to ruin the effect, but there was 2 points, so 9 out of 10. Other than that, I didn't notice anything else, and I thought it was just a great and original idea that you'll never see. It gives you, the theater goes all dark, and it makes you feel like you're not, like you're gonna just, you have to stay quiet. Anyways, if you guys want to see more reviews, let me know in the comments below, and have a nice day, I guess. Yeah, bye.